Good morning, everyone. So the program today, what we are going to see is given a number, find the square, cube, and square root of that number. So, like we have done for all the programs, the first step is defining the inputs, where exactly the inputs are going to be. So, in this case, it is a number. So, let us define where exactly the inputs are going to be defined. As we have seen in our lab, the inputs and outputs, we are for the time being, for the first set of programs, we are going to define the inputs in the external memory and the outputs are also going to be in the external memory. So let us define again the same location which we have used in 4500. Let us define. So 04. This corresponds to our input number whose square, cube and square root we have to find it out. So this is the definition of the input location for that number. So let's continue. So this is the input. Now we have to know where exactly the output are going to be saved. But before knowing that, you have to understand see, when you are having the input, you have to, like I have told, you need to consider the worst case scenario. So if you don't know how much bytes are required for the output, then you may not be able to specify the number of locations in memory. So here we assume like, okay, so the inputs can be any numbers, right? I can give it from starting from 00 to FF if it is 16 bits. Okay, so when I'm taking the square, you will get FF squared is equal to FE01. So if you are giving the input as FF, the output you are going to get is FE01. So it is a 16 byte. Okay, which you could achieve directly by using the command mul-ab. So if you directly use the command mul-ab for square, a and b will be having the same number, you will get the same result. In the case of cube also there is a problem, because in the case of cube, okay, so let us assume like, okay, I just deviated from the topic. So let us assume like the output is going to be of 16 bytes. That means you need to save two locations for the output. So we are assuming like the square output is going to be 16 bytes. So this is lower byte. Then in 4502, this is the higher byte. Then let us define the output for the cube of the same number. So when we are defining the cube, there is a problem. This, if I am giving FF, FE01 into FF, again the result will be greater than 16 byte. It might be closer, it might be, we have to save the result in maybe 24 bytes, which would be difficult to process. So we'll assume like cube is also having the result inside 16 bits. So that is our assumption for this program. We could do that, but still for simplicity, let us assume like the cube is also going to be, the result is going to be within 16 bits. So this is the location for the square, and this is the location for the cube. Now square root, anyway you need to have only one location, because when you are taking the square root for any 8-bit number, the square root is going to be within 8 bits. So this is the location for the square root. Now let us see the algorithm. Okay, so the algorithm for the this one for square, you can directly do using mul-ab. We are not going to use that. What we are going to do is repeated addition. So we are going to do the repeated addition. If the number given is 4 for square, the algorithm is, the number will be given to you. The number might be 04. So what you will do, you will load this in A, and in one register you add it 4 times. So you will get the result as 16. 16 corresponds to 10 in hexadecimal. So your result will be 0010. Lower location byte will be 10 and higher byte will be 00. Now for the cube, if you do, the result is going to be 4 into 4 into 4, which will be equal to 64. That corresponds to 40 in hexadecimal. So you will save it as 0040. This is the lower, this is the higher. Again, what you will do? You will do this process 4 into 4, which will be equal to 16 times. You have to do that process. So you will use the mul instruction here, and you will find the count. That many times you will repeat this process. So here when the number is equal to 4, so 4 into 4 equals 16. So 16 times is the count. So 16 times you will add the number 4 and you will get the value as 64. Now coming to the square root, what you have to do is, our assumption is a perfect square is given to you. That is our assumption, like 1, 4, 9, 3 and so on. So the square root logic is like this. Suppose the number is 9, the square root we have to get is 3. So how exactly this works is, initially the square root what we are going to save, that square root is going to be 0. Okay, then we'll do 9 minus 1, so the result is 8. So square root becomes 1 because we have performed one subtraction. 8 minus 3 becomes 5, the square root becomes 2 because we have performed the second subtraction, and the result has not become 0. Then 5 minus 5, which will be equal to 0, so the the square root becomes 3 and the result has become 0. So the comparison is made whether the result has been equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, how many times I have subtracted, that corresponds to the square root. So it is 135, the subtractant has to be incremented by 2. So that is what the logic of the square root. So this is the algorithm for doing the 3 programs. Okay, so let us see the program now. So let us see the program. In the case of square, what we'll do, we have to do repeated addition. That is what we have to do. So we load the number to A, then we'll save that to R0 because we have to do how many times repeated addition. This corresponds to our count R0. The number itself, that number itself times we have to do repeated addition. So we have lower byte and higher byte of the result. 16 bit is our result. So let us assume this R2 corresponds to our higher byte and R1 corresponds to our lower byte. Then we'll add the number which is in A with R1. R1 is the lower byte of the result and the result is saved back to R1. If there is a carry, we'll increment the carry which is in R2. Then R0 will be, the count will be decremented by 1. If the count is not equal to 0, repeat the process. Okay, so this is the program for square. It's the same as what we have done for addition of a series of 8-bit data. There we already had specified the count. Here we are not specifying the count, but the number, the given number itself corresponds to our count. So if you think from an addition of an 8-bit point of data, then each of those data corresponds to the same number which we have loaded here. Then coming back to the cube, so again in this case the difference is we'll be loading to number. So we need to get the count which is the square of the number. So if I am having a number like A, we want to find A cube. So this is the same as what? A into A squared. So this is the same as, you take this as the count A squared, then add this A squared times. So that is the logic. So we are since we want to multiply, we have the instruction which is mult AB. So we load that number to B also. So we assume the result is within 8 bits. If the result is more than 8 bits, our logic itself becomes, we have to change our logic and it may become a bit complicated for you. So for the time being, for simplicity, we assume the result is going to be within 8 bits. So the 8 bits means the multiplication, you will be having the result in B, which is the higher byte, and the lower byte result is going to be in A. So since the result is within 8 bits, the B is going to be 0, 0 in our case. So we load that lower byte to R0 which corresponds to our count, then the square program is repeated. So you will get cube. Then in the case of this square root, so what we will do is, we assume like we are having R1 is saved with the value of 0, 0 for our square root. Then R0 corresponds to our subtractant. So we load the number to A. We will subtract R0 which is 1 from A. We will increment once. The square root will be incremented by 1 because we have performed subtraction once. Then you have to check whether the result is equal to 0. If the result which is in A is not equal to 0, we'll increment the subtractant twice. So 1 becomes 3 and again the subtraction process is repeated. Again this process is repeated, each time incrementing the square root value of R1 by 1 and the subtractant by 2. And finally we will get the result in R1. So here our assumption is that the number whatever we have given is a perfect square. So the stopping condition corresponds to the value of a becoming equal to 0. Okay, it's not the count becoming 0. Here you have to compare and see whether a becomes equal to 0. So that is what the square root program is all about. Thank you.